white stone streets warming in the morning sun, the sea shimmering like glass beyond a terrace, olive trees swaying over land that hasn't changed in generations, and price tags that make you look twice. Because this is Sardinia, and every property on today's list costs less than $90,000. I went through hundreds of listings to find homes that were actually worth your attention. Some need a little work, others are ready to move into. But everyone offers something that's becoming harder and harder to find in Europe. The chance to own a home on a Mediterranean island without spending a fortune. I've ranked these properties from the lowest price upward, and I saved the two biggest surprises until the end. In fact, one home halfway through completely changed what I thought was the best value on the list. As we travel across Sardinia, from peaceful hill towns to villages overlooking the coast, we're judging these homes the way a buyer actually would, not by spreadsheets or price per square meter. We are judging them by what your money buys you. The views, the outdoor space, the walk to the sea, the character, and whether you could genuinely imagine building a life there. One quick reminder before we begin, listing prices are only the starting point. Always check the paperwork, taxes, and buying costs before falling in love with any property. Let's start with the home that made me realize just how much value is still hiding in Sardinia. Property 1, Lazzarai, $59,000. First up, and this is our starting point on the ladder, we are under $60,000. We are in Lazzarai on the East Coast. This is a detached 3-story country house sitting right on Via Garibaldi. It's in a central location close to schools and everyday life. The kind of street where you actually get to know your neighbors. And the best part is, this one gives you 3 full floors to work with. Instead of being squeezed into a box like a lot of budget listings, you've actually got room to spread out, room to grow into over time. Walk through the front door and there's a central hallway that splits the space cleanly. Living room to the right, a genuinely large bathroom to the left, and straight ahead, a kitchen with a working fireplace. It's the kind of detail that makes a place feel lived in rather than sterile, the kind of thing you just don't get in a new build. From there, the stairs pull you up to the middle floor. Here, there's a wide hallway that could easily be converted into a storage room, plus a full bedroom that opens onto its own balcony looking out over the street. Keep climbing, and the top floor holds a second bedroom, also with a balcony, and this one comes with a proper panoramic view out over the surrounding hills and rooftops of the town. The kind of view that makes a morning coffee feel like an event. You'd otherwise pay double for this somewhere closer to the coast. There's also real flexibility built into a footprint like this. 3 separate floors mean you could carve out a home office, a guest suite, or even a small rental unit down the line without touching a single load-bearing wall. Now, I'll be straight with you here because that's the whole point of doing this properly. According to the listing, this property does need renovation. I'm not going to dress that up or bury it in fine print. At $59,000, that's the trade you're making. And honestly, it's a fair one. This isn't the ready-to-move-in pick of the group. It's the entry point that shows you exactly what your money can pull in terms of raw space and solid 3-story bones in a real Sardinian town. There are no condominium fees attached either, which quietly saves real money year after year. And already only one listing in, the leader is about to change, because what's coming next sits in nearly the same price bracket but throws in an actual sea view. So don't get too attached just yet. A quick taste of the region before we move. This stretch of Sardinia's east coast has that slow, small-town rhythm to it. Quiet roads, real family-run bakeries, the kind of pace where an afternoon somehow stretches longer than it should, and a 5-minute errand turns into a 30-minute conversation with someone you just met. Property 2, Sonori, $72,000. Deal number 2, $72,000, and we've jumped up to Sonori, near Sassari. You are sitting right in the heart of the historic center where the stone streets and local shops are all within a short walk from the front door. Here's the wow moment, and it's a big one. Up on the top level of this house, there's a panoramic terrace with a genuine sea view over the Gulf of Asinara. The listing describes it as the kind of spot where you watch the sun go down with a glass in hand and just breathe. No rush, no schedule. It's not a museum, it's real life, and that terrace up top is the proof. The layout itself has real personality. The ground floor opens into a warm, connected living and kitchen area. The kitchenette is tucked slightly out of the way behind a practical dividing wall, so it never feels like you're cooking in the middle of your own living room. Head down to the basement, and there's a versatile extra room. It's ideal as a studio, a hobby space, or a guest room, and it's served by its own compact bathroom, so guests never have to trek upstairs. A spiral staircase threads the whole house together vertically. It pulls you up floor by floor to the night level. There, you'll find a bedroom with genuinely good natural light, a bathroom that comes with its own terrace, and one more flexible room you could turn into a study or a walk-in closet. It's 96 square meters spread across 3 full levels. It offers total independence and real character. No shared walls pressing in from either side. No compromise on privacy at all. Think about that for a second. A full 3-level house with total independence, not sitting inside a historic town center for under $75,000. Solid property, a structurally interesting layout, and that final rooftop terrace is the kicker that pushes this one right past listing number 1. A quick reality check here. Listings like this move fast. If something clicks for you while you're watching, don't sit on it too long. Someone else is scrolling this same list right now, in this exact same price range, on this exact same island. Property 3, Arzacina, $74,000. Now here's a twist. Deal number 3 takes us completely out of town and changes the whole shape of the game. $74,000 buys you a portion of a traditional Galura farmhouse, just a 10-minute drive from Arzacina. This is where the story shifts entirely from house to land. We're talking about a 2.2 hectare plot here. That is enormous by any normal standard. It is genuinely one of the single biggest features on this entire list. That is more land than most people will ever own in a lifetime. Quiet, surrounded by nature on every side, and private in a way that's hard to put a price tag on. The home itself is modest and compact. An entrance hallway, 1 bedroom, and a dining and living space, all sitting on a single level. The floor plan already allows room for a bathroom to be added later, since there isn't one currently on site. Right next to the main house sits a barn structure. It is ready to be used for storage exactly as it stands, or it could be renovated into a workshop, a studio, or extra guest space. According to the listing, water isn't connected on site just yet, but a well can be drilled. Electricity is already run to the property, so you're not starting completely from zero. You will want to budget for that water setup, so always check the documents and the fees first. Think of this less as buying a finished house, and more as buying options. The shed, the porch, the wall, the driveway, all of it is groundwork someone else already laid for you. What you're really buying at this price point is space, pure and simple. Room for crops, room for animals, room for a garden that could feed a family through the seasons. This is the pick for anyone dreaming about a slower, land-based life away from city noise. The kind of place where the loudest sound most mornings is a rooster 2 fields over. And don't click away yet because the leader changes again right after this next stop. This pocket of Galura sits close enough to the coast that beach days are still an easy drive away. The area has a real mix of longtime locals and expats who moved here for exactly this kind of quiet, unhurried life. The kind you can't fake in a city. Property 4, Quartu Santa Elena, $80,000. Deal number 4 brings us to $80,000 in Quartu Santa Elena, specifically the Menta Fiorita area near Flamini. And this one flips the story yet again. Instead of a big house, you're buying a big, flat piece of land. It's roughly 2,500 square meters, completely enclosed by a masonry wall, and set up with a double driveway entrance. It feels secure and private the moment you pull in through the gate. The existing structure on the plot is small. It's about 22 square meters, currently used as a tool shed, with a 16 square meter porch attached to it. And yes, it needs work. It's really more of a foundation to build from than a finished home, ideal as a summer base or weekend retreat. But the best part is this. The plot comes with numerous mature olive trees already growing on it, 2 working wells for irrigation, and a connection to the municipal water supply. This is genuinely productive land, not just an empty patch of dirt. Location-wise, it's close to the golf club facilities, and an easy run into the city center and the coastal strip. You get privacy and quiet without giving up access to services and beaches. This one is for a very specific kind of buyer. Maybe an investor thinking long-term about land value, or a family that wants their own little olive grove to tend on weekends and holidays. Comment below and tell me which one you'd actually pick so far. The farmhouse land with its barn, the olive grove near the golf course, or something with the keys already turning in the lock right now, because listing number 5 is about to flip the whole story back toward pure comfort. Property 5, Lubagnu, $86,000. We're at $86,000 in Lubagnu, the seaside hamlet that belongs to Castelsardo, and this is by far the most turnkey option on the entire list. According to the listing, the beach is roughly 400 meters away. An easy walk. Not a drive you have to plan around. This ground floor apartment measures 35 square meters inside, which sounds modest on paper. But the real trick, the thing that makes this listing genuinely special, is the 20 square meter veranda wrapped around it. It's big enough for a proper outdoor dining setup, perfect for summer evenings after a full day spent down at the water. It comes sold fully furnished, a living room with a kitchenette, a double bedroom, a bathroom, and that oversized veranda tying the entire layout together into one breathable space. No major renovations needed here at all. You could actually move into this apartment this week, or rent it out as a holiday base given how close it sits to the beach. This is the pick for anyone who wants a pied-à-terre by the sea without lifting a single tool. Picture stepping out that front door with a towel over your shoulder and being in the water in under 10 minutes. That's the entire pitch for this one, and it delivers. Property 6, Miravera, $90,000. And now, the leader changes one final time, because the last listing brings the biggest lot and arguably the biggest opportunity of the entire lineup. $90,000, right at the very top of our price range, lands us in the historic center of Miravera. This is a single-family detached house on Vico Marconi, built in a traditional Campanese style that you genuinely don't see very often anymore. Here's the wow moment. This property sits on roughly 250 square meters of private garden land right in the middle of town. It's free on 3 sides, with views onto 2 parallel streets. That means constant natural light pouring in and real independence from neighbors. Something exceptionally rare this close to the center. The covered structure itself measures about 100 square meters, all arranged on a single level, laid out with 5 or more rooms to work with once it's brought back to life. Now, to be completely upfront with you, this one is described as needing a complete renovation from top to bottom. It's the biggest project on this entire list, no question, but it also carries the biggest potential reward. That generous private garden combined with that single-story layout opens the door to something genuinely special. Turn it into a private family home with a real yard for the kids, or lean fully into the central location and reimagine it as a charming bed and breakfast. It's not about what the house is today. It's about what a single-story footprint with a walled garden this size could become in the right hands. The verdict prices reflect the moment of this roundup, so always double-check the current listing status. Let's land the plane and wrap this up fast. Best for the sea. No contest. That's Lubagnu. Walk to the beach, fully furnished. Move in this weekend. Best for land. A toss-up between the Arzacina farmhouse with its 2.2 hectares of quiet countryside, or the Quartu plot with its working olive grove near the golf course. Most turnkey overall. Once again, Lubagnu. No surprises. Best long-term project with the biggest upside. Miravera, hands down, purely for that garden and central location combined. The sleeper pick, Sonori. A sea view terrace for $72,000 in a historic town center simply shouldn't exist at this price point, but it does. 6 properties, 6 completely different kinds of life for under $90,000. If you want more finds exactly like this, subscribe. The next region we're covering is even cheaper than Sardinia, and honestly just as beautiful. And before you go, drop a comment and tell me straight. Out of all 6 of these, which one would you actually move into